babies.
Can't tell I'm really proud of myself for this analogy. Or actually, it's more of a.
I've never seen an analogy you're not proud of.
It's more of a literacy thing. The Dookie. It's not D-O-O-K. It's D-U-K-I-E. And most people hate Duke unless you're from Duke. So it all works. They're pieces of
They're very
shit.
hateable. Bunch of rapists.
Alleged. Actually, I think they proved that wrong.
I think it's confirmed.
Well, we'll leave that allegedly. 122-118 win over the Lakers. Tatum 44, 9 boards, 6 assists, blew the 20-point lead as mentioned on the top. Just so everyone's clear, the Lakers are 11-16 and 12th in the West. LeBron look, I say he looks old here. He's still doing windmill dunks and looks like a freight train when he wants to. It just doesn't. He can't dominate the game anymore. He
can jump. He can do those athletic feats, but he doesn't have like the cardio to play basketball.
Yeah, or the agility or whatever. Like
Yeah.
he's been nursing Achilles and hamstrings and things like that over the last couple of years. It was just evident to me. Like he in that game, he stood on the sideline, sometimes literally for most of the play, and they passed it down to AD, who is a flat out bitch. Like he's soft as shit, and Westbrook is a maniac who sucks. The Lakers stink, and the Celtics blew a 20-point lead to them. We kind of chronicled that in the opener, but then that 20-point loss to the Clippers, Kawhi and Paul George, they look good. Finally back in action after whatever that Kawhi's been out 2 years.
Once every 4 years, they'll get it together.
Yeah, sure. Paul George will shit his pants too. There's some guys just don't have it, and I'm just very worried that guy's Tatum.
I think he has it a little bit more, and that he cares about basketball more than some of these other guys do. But he had, just like we talked about before, he's verbally said, like, "Listen, I don't know if I have that killer instinct." So they need somebody that's got it, because in the end, unless they're they went against the Warriors, and they had a couple guys that have that. So unless they find themselves in a situation going against somebody that doesn't, they're probably going to lose, or they have to be 10 times better and blow them out.
Jaylen Brown has it. I just don't. I think he's, if Tatum is missing that killer instincts by this much, Jaylen Brown's missing the talent by that much. There's just that gap.
He's willing to do it, but is it like the best idea for him to do it?
Right. Exactly. I memean, he hit that dagger 3 in overtime versus the Lakers. That really was the one that ended the game from deep. So, I mean, I think he's got that in him. It's just another hurdle, and I'm not gonna say Tatum will never get it or he's not there. He's certainly more of a cerebral player. So I keep saying it. You got to find if you're a cerebral player, you don't really have that instinct. Then you have to find your spot and understand exactly what you need to do to get the ball in the hoop, and know that if you do it correctly, it's going in, or you're going to get fouled and go to the line or something. Offensively, you just need to get yourself in that position where your margin of error is very wide, and you know what you're going to do. And I don't know if he has that in his game yet.
Well, it seems like, to your point about him not getting to his spot, he lacks the aggressiveness to demand to go to his spot. Like if somebody tries to take it away from him, he's like, okay, you're taking it away. I got to do something else, instead of forcibly continuing to impose his will on the game.
Right. Offensive basketball is a winning bet if you know what to do. So even if you had at any point in time, go watch Kobe Bryant. At any point in time, he knew he was getting doubled. He knew he was getting tripled, but he knew where he was in the court and what move he had to make depending on what the defense did to get his shot. So, best offense beats best defense in basketball 100% of the time. So you just have to understand where to go and what to do. If they're going to W from your left, you better have a move to your right. If you're going to W from the left, better have a move to your right. So
Chess match.
It's just kind of getting to that level. The fucking kid's 25 still. I did see a stat.
It's like he's almost been with the Celtics for 10 years.
It's unbelievable. He is unbelievably good. Like, and I'm rooting for him harder now than I have. Like, my doubt is much smaller than it has been the last couple of years. And I did see a stat. He's like, he's 3-0 in game sevens. been to 3 conference finals, been to a finals.
He's
By
got
the
a
time
good
he's
career. If
25
he
years
retired
old,
tomorrow, he's had a real NBA career.
yeah, it's like it's pretty unbelievable, and we still have this gripe. So it might be unfair to him, but I do believe what I'm saying is correct, and I think that he probably knows that too. It's just a matter of finding that game. He's got to find that old man 30 plus
He needs to
men's
sit
league
down with
game, man.
Malcolm Brogdon, and Malcolm needs to tell him a thing or two about old man ball. Okay, and if not, I could tell him. I got an old man game that is it's really nice. Actually, I've really settled into what I'm good
Oh
at.
yeah.
I stopped trying to do things I can't do,
Nope. Yep. Yeah. I've gone
which
straight
is
to the
dribble.
old man game, playing a bunch of 22-year-olds. I'm fine with it. I don't need to be a hero.
Nope.
I'll impose some wisdom on you. Nice segue to Brogdon, though. He was brought in for these situations. He was brought in to slow down the game, to corral everybody. This might people aren't talking about it. Allow me to be the first. This might be the first knock, real true knock on Missoula and what he's done with his lineups. When they've gone to overtime or late fourth quarters, it's been Smart, Brown, Tatum, and some combination of either Grant Williams and a center or whoever they want in the front court. Malcolm Brogdon has been nowhere to be seen, and I think that's a mistake. I don't think he's using him correctly. I don't think he's using him enough. Like, he needs to play. Malcolm Brogdon should play at least a stint in overtime.
The only thing I can think of, which I think I mentioned it before, is you're saving his minutes. He's like, these games now, like, do they really matter? The wins or losses? You're making the playoffs. So it's like you really got to save it. And probably if, let's say we get to March and he's starting to work into these end of game lineups so that means he's going to be there in the playoffs, that would make sense to me because at least he's got an injury history. He's old. You really do got to save it because it doesn't, what happens now doesn't matter. It just doesn't.
I'm with you, and I would agree with you, and that makes sense to me. I don't know if Missoula's doing that.
Yeah,
because Tatum's playing 38 minutes a night.
Right. I don't know if he's doing it because it really more seems like he's emptying out everything he's got to turn that interim tag to full term.
Yeah, I mean, and look, Marcus Smart is a bull, and he's had a really good season. Hits a big shots against Lakers. I've been the biggest hater on this guy for years, but he's 29. It's not like, and he's playing every single minute.
If he's been there for a decade, Marcus Smart's been there for 2.
Yeah, so I agree with you. That would be a smart move. I'm not sure that's what he's doing. Maybe he'll transition into that, and we'll see Brogdon more. Maybe he'll learn from that. I think Tatum's minutes have got to come down, but he's going for MVP, so he wants to play
Both of the Jays play a lot.
Yeah, they gotta work on that. Okay.